Hello, everybody, out in my happy hybrid virtual hashtag GMIC 2014 world. What is happening right now at the conference is during this morning, people went on a variety of tours to explore San Francisco and some of the sustainable measures that are already in place. So what they're doing right now is they are back in their tour groups and they're talking about some of the highlights and some of the things that they discovered and some of the things that they want to share, and they're figuring out ways to visually and succinctly tell the story of what they experienced this morning. So that's why we delayed this a little bit, because we wanted to give them some time to collaborate. And if you are interested, they are parking a lot of their thoughts on our event app, which is called Topi. That's spelled T-O-P-I. You can go to, on your phone, topi.com/GET. That will allow you to download it for Windows Mobile, Android, or Apple devices. You can then enter the code, and don't worry, you can pause this live feed and you can rewind it. So if you miss it the first time, if you didn't have a pen and paper, you can always stop me right now and then go back and figure it out. But topi.com/get, G-E-T. That'll take you with your phone to the proper store that you need to download it from. It's free. And then in your settings, you will enter the code 16074380. And then what you can do is there's a menu bar. You hit the menu bar and it will show you the agenda of what was going on. Select the tours that you were interested in, maybe that you saw online or that you might have been following people's Twitter feed on. And then what you can do is say that you're attending that event, and then on the homepage of Topi, it'll give you a private chat room, and you'll be able to see what people on that tour were sharing. We'll also be sharing those screens on the live broadcast. So as people are talking about those tours, I will be showing you what they shared on Topi, so you won't miss out on anything. I just thought it might be fun if you wanted to kind of experience what was happening mobilely with the in-person audience, to be able to join us on that. So again, the code for that, it's Topi, topi.com/GET. And then the code, you enter the code in the settings, and it's 16074380. And then when you enter that, it should say, you are now entering GMIC. So even though you're not physically with us, Topi geolocates events. You'll have access to some of the documents that we've had and the conversations that are going on, and that kind of thing. We have some people who are wondering, having some technical difficulties, so they had somebody come up. You can come over here and I'll help you out. Yeah, so somebody emailed you pictures and you're trying to figure out how to upload?
Yeah, how to.
Great. All right, so I am doing double duty. So while this is happening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the logo screen and just tweet amongst yourselves, hashtag GMIC 2014.
So a few more seconds. I hope your tour leader is correct. And if he or she is not, she will get better.
So these are the pictures.
Can I come watch you do
Yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Broadcast.
You can sit right there.
Oh, really?
Okay, so you hit the arrow
Oh. I've done this.
and save image,
Okay, drop your pens.
and then
Put down your screens.
yep. Yeah, so then, well, you don't have to really, you can just go back to
I'd
Topi.
like everyone to be quiet now because I want everybody, I want the team leader at each group in turn, as I point to you, to announce loudly the name of your tour. And I want you all to listen and be thinking, which was the tour that I really wanted to go to that I didn't get to go to the most? Think about what that tour was. We're going to hear the names of all of them now, and I'm going to point to where they are in the room. So watch me, and then you'll know where to go. So here we go. I'm going to start off in the top, in the left-hand corner here. If you can, W Hotel San Francisco. Pier 15, Curiosity Catering. In the left.
That's us.
Bentley Reserve in the far left corner. This table.
Which one? To Curiosity Catering.
Local sustainable suppliers. Be thinking which one you want to go to. This table here. The recycling center, Pier 56. An enthusiastic group sounds good. Over here. Craft. Scrap. Painted ladies, folks. Next table. The Hilton, right here. And in the far corner, Fairmont. This table, Farmers Market. How can you resist? Asparagus. And finally, oh no, two more tables. The closer one to me, Moscone. And the table, say that again? The Department of the Environment at the back in the middle. Okay, when I say go, I want all of you to go to the table you would like to hear about. Team leader stays at the table, ready to give their pitch. Go.
Want me to go back to the screen?
Move as quickly as you can, please, so that we can get ready to hear our presentation. The team leader will present. You can ask questions. And you can find out about that tour that you missed. Second best to cloning. If you forgot where you're going, ask, but get there.
Oh, I understand. That's your exception. Well, there's your right there.
Feel free to stand up if you like, so you can listen better. I would need to. Yes, in a moment I am. But
Hey, Adrian, I have a question.
yes.
Will the team leaders be mic'd and telling people about the tours that way so that the virtual audience can also hear their
Oh, that-
story?
Can you do that, John?
I think we had a handheld mic that we were circulating earlier, no?
That's a great
Oh,
idea.
because we're in the middle, yeah, so we do. So I think that would be a great thing, so because we can use the visuals from Topi for the virtual audience, and we can also pan to the tables, and that way.
Thank you for reminding me about the virtual audience, Christy, and this will work. If John can provide some mics that don't go into the PA, I may be asking something that's hard for you, then Christy can get an audio feed for the virtual audience from the table. We're going to do at least 2 rounds of these, depending on the timing, and so we'll switch the mics around, and so the virtual audience will get to hear a number of different tables. Does that work?
Yeah, that's great. And then also one thing that we already had a question from the virtual audience that they were really wondering about for all the tour groups is on the tour, if there was anything that you discovered or that you saw that you'd like to reuse or repurpose for events that you organize or maybe bring back to your own venues, that's something that the virtual audience is really, really curious about. So that would be fabulous if you could include that in your presentation or in your tweets or in your Topi posts.
Thank you, Christy. All right, looks like we're all ready. I'm going to ask you to go. I'm going to give you 7 minutes, starting now.
Okay. So while we're waiting for the audio to get patched in, I was going to go ahead and just talk to you a second. The audio tech is at the end, and so I know he's putting that on a special channel. So Catherine, yes, I asked them your question, so hopefully that'll be covered. It's very interesting. There's a wide diversity in the tours that were happening.
We only have 2 mics, so we want to pick the 2 groups you're most interested in.
Oh, sure. If you're watching the virtual audience, if there were 2 groups that you were most interested in, please let us know. So Catherine, if there was something that that you thought was super, super cool, can you tweet at PYM Live or tag it GMIC 2014? Otherwise, we're just going to hand off a microphone to the closest group and just let them go. Oh, okay. So largest two? Great. So,
Switch it up.
yeah, we're going to send it to the largest group right now, and then and tell me which one that is.
Okay, I'll go grab it.
Okay.
Talk.
Okay. Great.
See if you got that. You should have that.
Okay. So. Let me see.
Test.
Hold on a second. I have to. Okay. Can you speak into that mic now?
Test.
Can you hear it? Eavesdrop on it? Go ahead.
I can't because my headphone jack is there.
So you got no way to actually hear what you got. Okay,
No.
let me see it.
You know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do. Okay, this is what I'm going to do because we're having a little bit of difficulty trying to get the audio feeds to go to the microphones. What I'm going to do is we're going to take the video that's actually feeding into my phone, and I'm going to show you some of the chat rooms. So what we'll do is we'll get the camera op to focus on the screen, and then if we can pull up the social media channel, and that way what we'll do is we'll share, so that way we'll share visuals with you. So even if you can't hear, hold on a second, you can't test that until I change that camera angle. So we'll be able to see it once I go to the screen. So hold on a second. So we're gonna still see if maybe for like round 2 we can get you some audio. But in the meantime, I'm gonna show you visually what some of the people were sharing from the tours. Okay, now you should be able to. You can go to social media, and then you guys can check the audio, and we can see if. Oh, you can tell him he can test it now. Okay, great. So can you, is it possible for you to zoom in?
And it's kind of when you're sharing the close. And we have time. We have time for another round. So maybe there's another tour that you really wanted to go to. There's one more tour that you can go to and find out about. Which tour would it be? You're switching already. Yes. I know you would like to keep talking. Thank you, team leaders. Now wander around and pick another tour group that you would like to hear about. This will be our last. This will be your last opportunity to hear about a tour you did not attend. So it's time to move. But keep moving, please. Keep moving. Move to your new table. There might only be one or two people at your table now, tour leaders. That is okay. Think what kind of intimate conversation you can have with one or two people about your tour. So we will start the next round of presentations in about 30 seconds. So please move to your table.
You can talk to me because you're not mic'd right now.
I just when you have time, you need a quick tutorial.
Sure.
Remember, feel free to ask questions about what you're hearing. And when I ring the bell, I'd like your tour leaders to begin.
I can't get it. I can't get it.
That's your sign. Second round of presentations, please.
No value in that as far because it's a commodity, right? They're just selling commodities to make sure that their streams are clean because as Chair was talking about with complexity, that's putting the MRF is just one stop and then the next stop is basically going to where are they going to be selling these bales of these products?
You can turn it on.
Yeah. Some things that we learned that was very, very interesting. They had one really, really impactful map of the city, but basically it said that if global warming continues the way that it's going now, within 50 years, AT&T ballpark will be underwater. So they've got a map of the baseball park, and basically half of it's completely underwater. So I'm sure to any other cities that have sports or just downtown that San Francisco has, that hits home pretty quickly when you see San Francisco. The other thing that they offer job training for any single parents that have at least one child. They offer a job training program. Once you're trained, you can go out into the community, schools, you can go to different areas and teach other people about recycling and composting. So basically, giving people jobs, people out in the city, teach others about recycling and composting. Yeah, basically, then there's a photo on here. The office is decorated really, really cool. So this is actually a clothing palette. This bottom part are all Levi's jeans. So basically, the stat is that every 7 minutes, there's 560 pounds of textiles that are sent to our just here in San Francisco. So they divert this by creating an office for about 7 or 8 in this office. And actually when you go in, this is the first time I've seen in the lobby, and it does look, you wouldn't think okay, a bunch of clothing, but it's kind of very neatly packed in there. It's really, really cool. It's really cool. And they're leasing out into the corporate community and also office buildings and things. We're starting to see others do this type of diversion of this stuff. So it's not clothing that can be donated directly in their office for recycling. They also have other types of things that they do. They have a lot of their wall art is just trash picked from outside and they create wall art. Some really good stuff that they're utilizing in the office. The other thing is their climate control in their office, which is something being from the outside is interesting. Their climate control is not done by temperature and humidity. It's done by carbon dioxide. So their thermostats are reading carbon dioxide in the air. So if it reaches a certain point, their ventilation system will be based on the amount of carbon dioxide. It's not based on the temperature. Very, very environmentally friendly. I don't know. I come from a big hotel. I don't know how well that would go in a big ballroom, but some office buildings and things like that, it really, really works. There's just a couple other things out here. So they've got this green rooftop that was across the street, and this is all drain water from rain that comes in, and basically the entire roof of the building across the street is just all grass and flowers, all the rain water.
Okay, so I apologize for not being able to work the logistics so that we could actually get some sound to the table so you could hear people share their knowledge and share their presentations. But what I did notice, and you may have noticed if you were still hanging out with us, is that the group at the Fairmont San Francisco actually did record a lot of information about what the successes were and what the challenges were. So I'm going to share those with you. So Christopher, who he does sustainable CSR incentive trips and family luxury trips, Christopher Hill was on this tour. And so the things that he shared were some of the successes were the Fairmont San Francisco found that their sustainability efforts actually created more staff engagement. It was an early adopter, and they were a leader in the industry. They had success with the off-site composting, with creating lifestyle cuisine, with having a green team and helping Fairmont create a brand standard for the entire hotel chain. They're now able to divert 50% of their waste, and they offer a parking discount for electric cars, which has been a popular option. So some of the challenges they learned about was that it's a historical building. So you'll notice that even with something that's like a just Wi-Fi, historical buildings sometimes just aren't built to adjust very well, and there were such different considerations that were happening that a lot of them is just very difficult with loading docks and the way things are to have composting trucks come in or some of those other logistical things that a newer facility that's built with sustainability initiatives in mind is able to achieve. So they also had negative PR risks because as a big brand, they were afraid to give away unused food. They were afraid of getting negative PR, so sometimes that was a thing. So it looks like we're going back to the stage. So we're going to go back to the stage right now and go back to our presentation.
Finally, we are building a bridge over here. And we have an architect of this bridge. It's James, and I'm giving him a microphone right this very moment. And we have about 15 minutes left in this session, and James would like a few volunteers to help him build a bridge.
I want some bridge builders.
And I'm going to turn this over to him. He might only want a few people. So if you're interested in having fun building a bridge with these boxes, and if you can bring the boxes at your table over to the bridge, we are going to fundamentally reconfigure what is there into something new and exciting and wonderful. That is what James will do. Here is James.
Hi. So I need bridge builders. We're going to take this bridge and we're going to extend it. We may not make it across the bay, but we're going to make it as long as we can with the things we have. So if anybody wants to do that, come on over, and we're going to get right to work.
We have 15 minutes
We
to
have
build that
15 minutes.
bridge.
We have a deadline. 15 minutes bridge. Ready? Go. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So let's see if we can stretch this. Well, we're going to leave that there, and we're going to pull it down here. What I think we can do.
If you're not building a bridge, you can talk, do whatever you need to do, but be back here at 3 o'clock for the next session.
This thing out a little
Thank you very
further
much.
and add as we go. I think this is great. Yeah, so let's make the bottom out of these this way, the tall ones. But also with this, the span. This is Golden Gate, right? The span,
I know how
we
frustrating
can
it can
increase
be.
the span of this by pulling things over, and we need to do it carefully. Fortunately, if it falls down, we can put it back. So take the top. Yeah, let's take it down. Yeah, good. Great. Let's take it down to
I'm going
here.
to go back to myself, I guess.
And then while we're doing that, who's got tall ones? Bring those over. One other thing.
Hey, so while they are building the physical bridge, I figured I would just kind of go and search and read out some of the tweets and some of the conversations that are happening. So if you are following our stream, it's hashtag GMIC 2014. And you'll be able to see what people are talking and sharing. There were a lot of beautiful pictures and ideas and thoughts that were being tweeted out as the tours were happening. So that is something that you can definitely, I know if in case you just felt cheated and you really wanted more of an experience, I've also been creating Storify Recaps. So if you search the GMIC 2014 stream or follow at PYM Live, you'll have those. And I have been creating a Storify recap. Did you go on a tour this morning? Oh, great. So I actually have somebody who's going to come and tell us a little bit about her tour. So to save you from feeling cheated.
That's right.
All right.
Well, hello again, Christy.
Hello
again,
Dear.
virtual audience. We've had some really cool tours. So I just went and did the recap of the tours, and they looked like they were really awesome. So my tour today, we went to the Scrounge Art Facility.
Oh, nice.
It's called Scrap.
Okay.
So where people can take anything that is not food or construction materials or clothing, but all of this other odds and sods, buttons and CD cases and old fabric and things like that you can, and foam cords. So they take old signage.
Nice.
So out of I'd like to show you what I made, if that's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, of course.
So
What
I
is it?
made
No. Don't show me your art.
beautiful house. So yes, this was my job today.
Oh, that's cool. So here's
Right?
little film,
Microfilm.
like microfilm.
And underneath it is an
Oh.
old picture, so there's a little person looking through.
So for those of you who are millennials who probably never had to go to a public library and do research before they had the internet, you used to have to search through all these little photographs that people had taken of newspaper articles and magazine articles, and they're called microfilm or microfiche, as I remember
Microfiche.
requesting them.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you can also tweet at PYM Live and ask me what the Dewey Decimal System is, and I will tell you.
Right, and then there's this beautiful,
Zipper.
old zipper door handle.
And it's kind of like a little, I don't think you can hear it from there, but it kind of sounds like a little clickety clack clack. Like
And then there's some, old buttons and pieces of lace, but check this out.
Oh my God.
On the
Okay.
other side, I used some old
Tahira
pieces
has
of
created her
wallpaper.
Elvis love room.
That's right. An old piece of, this was a little scrap of fun fur that was left over to make my carpet.
Nice.
And a little dancing couple from an old card. So this was my job today. I was networking with 11 fabulous planners while I built a little piece of scrap art.
Yeah.
And it was really fun.
That's awesome. So did you go around to different groups and actually...
I did. I learned about the Exploratorium, where they have an Algae chandelier and where nobody wanted to leave because it was they got to play with things there, and it was really, really fun.
Uh-huh.
And then they talked to Curiosity Catering, and they learned about things like humane beef and ocean-wise fish and Seafood Watch and all those kinds of things. And then we got to actually look at the vegetables that Amy is going to take home for her dinner party tomorrow that she got at the farmer's market.
That's awesome.
I know. So they did a tour of a creamery and learned a lot about cottage cheese, which cottage cheese needs so much water to make it that they're actually no longer making cottage cheese at that particular creamery.
Interesting.
Right?
Interesting.
Yeah. So I've never actually thought about how you make cottage cheese.
Yeah.
But apparently it's very water intensive. And what have you guys been doing up here?
So we've just been hanging out. I was showing them, we focused on the screen so that people could actually see what different people in the chat groups have been sharing from their tours. So a lot of it was just visual.
Excellent.
Oh, Catherine Manfredi says, hi, PM Live and Tahira creates.
Hello.
That's awesome. I won't check it on my phone because I have it open and they're using that social media. I have it open to a gallery so people can see it. But yeah, so we basically were talking with Kat and seeing if she wanted to see. So she wanted to thank you for sharing about scrap, and she loves your house. Wonderful upcycling, which is, it's a very trendy.
I am going to pack this and take this home, and I probably won't take it to my office. I don't think I can explain to everyone that I work with that this was work, but I might take it home and torment my teenagers with it.
I think that's the perfect use for something that's
Right?
spoke arty is to torment teenagers with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You did what? You hear the tone of voice already, right?
Yeah,
So,
no, I can't. I can hear the lip smacking.
Yeah.
Actually, and I can hear the eyes rolling. That's like the
Right?
heaviest sound in a
Yeah.
teenager house.
So that's what you call work.
Yeah.
So really, this is what I call a perfect day at work.
Yeah.
Learning about something sustainable, learning how we can incorporate some of these things into our events. They will do corporate team building there, but they also do a lot of work with schools. And a very cool thing about Scrap that I really appreciated was that they do a day once a year in August where teachers can come free and take anything that they want. 247 teachers last year who could take materials back into their classrooms.
Wow.
I know, so I thought that was really great. So.
I want to thank the road crew, the bridge crew. We are done.
Bye. Okay, so we are going to go back and show you the bridge that people built.
How many people have we had?
We're missing a piece.
Oh, we're missing a piece.
I haven't looked at the totals, but for example,
Then we
the
want to put
video
it-
last night
you know what,
had about
put it-
45 people. 45. And so,
Oh, I can put it in
the
front of the
live
slides.
viewership tends to be between like 4 and 25, and then like people are watching at different times.
Is it the same people change it? Hard to know perhaps.
It's hard to know.
Monica, can you bring up slides? There we go. Are we back? Do you want to wait until 3? Sure. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna start up again in 5 minutes, so a little mini break, and then at 3 o'clock we're gonna start into the next session.
Excellent. And if there's anybody during the break who wants to come and share with the virtual audience what it is that you did during your tour, I would love to share more stories. We heard about scrap. So if anybody from the other groups would like to come and just hang out with me and tell the virtual audience about what you experienced, that'd be awesome.
So, take a break. That's a good time for a bit.
Hear it.
Thank you so much for
Oh, great. Okay, cool. Awesome. So Amy Spatrosano is actually joining us, and we heard a little bit about how you bought some vegetables for your dinner party. So are you going to show us the actual vegetables?
Who knew they were purple asparagus? I didn't know. So who knew?
That's
I also
awesome.
learned that the fatter asparagus is actually more tender than the skinny. And I thought it was the other way around, so I've been shopping wrong, I guess, all this time.
Yeah, because I think it's with berries. I think the smaller the berry, the sweeter it is.
But I thought with asparagus it was the other way around.
I don't know.
I also bought colored fingerling potatoes. There's purple, red, and white potatoes. So yeah, I'm flipping it home.
That's awesome.
Serving it to my family tomorrow night.
Nice. So did you go on the tour with a shopping bag in tow, like knowing that you were going to get vegetables?
No, I just happened to have this bag with me, and I saw the vegetables there, and I hemmed and hawed, and I thought, really, can I get this on a plane? And I thought, what the heck, right? So it was a lot of fun. We started at the creamery. There's a Cowgirl Creamery, and if you ever have a chance to come to San Francisco, I highly recommend it. The cheese was awesome. We learned that, and some of you may know this, that cottage cheese takes the most water.
Tahira was just telling us about that. Yeah, she was saying that they're gonna stop making the cottage cheese at that factory for that reason.
Yeah, for the drought. Also, the Cowgirl Creamery, the two women that own it, their mission is really to help other farmers in the community continue to maintain and sustain themselves. They have a restaurant that's right next door to the creamery, and all the tip money is collected and given to help the farmers save their land, and they save like an acre a month.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome?
That's really awesome.
Yeah, they've taught over 20 other farms to be able to produce their own cheese. So yeah, it's really a crazy thing. So I don't know if she talked about the chefs. Did she tell you about the chefs ballet? So the chefs, the idea of the farmers market is to obviously connect the farmers to the community. And the chef, yes, and the chef, so obviously restaurants are a big part of the community here in San Francisco. And the chefs want this local, but they're busy. So anyway, they have a farmer's market, and they have the best parking right in front of the farmer's market. The chefs can pull up, they have a special sticker on there so they don't get towed. And then they have these big carts, they load up with all the stuff they need, they get back in their cars, and off they go.
That's awesome.
I know. And then they have, for the regular people, a veggie valet. So if you've been shopping, but you want to, keep going around, you just drop your veggies in the valet. You go to get your car that's usually parked blocks away, and you drive up, and they'll give you your veggies, so you don't have to schlep them.
Only in America.
Only in America.
You would not be able to do that at the fish market in Perry.
No. And they're great because with the kids, they have a whole children's program. So they're trying to teach children and also the high school students about farming, because the farmers in this area are in their 50s, which is really old for farming, because farming is a lot of hard work. So they're trying to encourage the young people to get interested in farming. So
it's really expensive. Yeah, I was hearing something like the average amount of money it takes to get into farming is something in the realm of like $70,000. So it's really cost prohibitive, and it's something that a lot of people are interested in doing. And it's something that, a lot of legacy farmers, they have a hard time finding they may not have family members who want to take it over because it's a very difficult existence. So I've heard a lot about mentorship programs where people who want to learn how to be a hog farmer or learn how to grow corn or are patching up with people who don't have families to pass on the land to, so that they can actually learn the trade, kind of like an old-fashioned like craft guild or something. Oops.
Yeah, no, it's I learned, like I said, with cheese. We also had some amazing pizza and coffee. So it was a great outing, really a wonderful outing. So.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming over to share with us. That's awesome.
Andrew, Tahira.
So we are going to go back to Paul and Ann. They are going to be doing a little bit of a recap for us. And so thank you so much for joining us and sticking out with us, and we'll go over now.
Okay, so we're hitting the home stretch now. Hopefully you guys had a great time on the tours. I've heard lots of good stuff about them. Did you guys like doing the tours? All right. Excellent. Okay, so we've had an amazing couple of days of capturing content. And in a minute, we're going to give you an opportunity to kind of even take a look at that. Just so much content has been captured, and what we're going to be spending the rest of the day on is starting to really come back to this big question that we posed at the very beginning and starting to answer this question. So we've got about 2 hours to do a couple of different things to get to that process, and then we'll spend the last final hour kind of wrapping up, really sharing back what you guys think about some of the ideas that have come across and what some of your answers to the big question are, and then doing a little bit of an exercise around making commitments. So I'm going to let Ann guide you through this very first part, and then I'm going to give you some examples, and then we're going to do some group work for a while. So Ann.
Yeah. I want you to invite you to go back to the groups that you were in yesterday. Can you remember? Your home group. Please find back. I see Jonas is in the exact same spot as he was yesterday. Super. Please regroup with your home group from yesterday. That was the group where you did the sudden survey, where you were chasing responses for the first questions we asked you, just to remind you. If your group have minimized into only 2 or 3 persons, I think what we're going to do is to join groups. So be very helpful if you, when you found your group, sit down so we could see if we have to join you. If you don't remember, just pick a group where you like to be seated. If you can remember, find some nice looking people and sit down.
And if for some reason you weren't here yesterday, just find a group to sit with.
Okay, are you good? Are you where you want to be? Join a group. Okay.
All right.
I have seen that a lot of you on your own initiative has been visiting our sharing point wall down here and taking photos, and that's great, and up here. But sometimes we think better when we talk, walk and talk. So I want you, in the group you're in, find a walk and talk partner where you get up and take a walk down our sharing point lane here up to the bridge and really revisit all the output that you have produced. And after that, you're going to go back in your groups and you're going to come up with answer to the big questions. The big question that Paul posted on Tuesday, 2 days ago. And you're going to come up with your group answer to this big question, bringing all of the knowledge and the input and the output that we produced over the last 3 days. Inspiration, etc. So.
And when you first get back in your group, I'm just going to give you a little bit of context and then we'll let you talk.
Exactly. But first, go for a walk down here with the person in your group. Okay? If you don't add up with 2 persons, just invite a third.
And how much time for this, Ann?
You're going to have 10 minutes to take your walk, okay?
So 10 minutes.
So hi, it's me again, Kirsty Casey Sanders from Plan Your Meetings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off right now, because they're scheduled to do just a lot of group work for the next couple of hours. But I will be traveling around and seeing if I can be capturing some things on glass and posting them later to the YouTube channel for Plan Your Meetings. So I will be sharing the links with you as they post. Also, I have a playlist for all of the video content. So it's everything. It's these live broadcast archives. It is snappy TV recaps. It is interviews that I've done with people who have been sponsoring the contest and things like sponsoring the contest. 3-day conferences, you know what I'm saying. So that short link is at ez.com, just like the ez.com for the notes, which is where you'll find all of our notes for the sessions. ez.com/GMIC 2014. And that is where you'll be able to find all of the video content. So over the next couple of days, we'll still be posting things and sharing things. We've got Storify Recaps that are coming out, so if you like seeing aggregated tweets and pictures and things like that, you can go to storify.com, storify.com/PYM Live. And as I publish them, then you'll be able to see them. I'm also going to keep sharing those on the GMIC 2014 hashtag. So if there's something that you really want to know, please let me know. We're going to come back in a couple of hours to broadcast the final hour, which will be the findings and the recap, and most importantly, the action steps. Because knowledge is not power. Knowing how to apply that knowledge is where you find true results. Learning from your mistakes, figuring out how to apply things, figuring out how to make the change happen. And those are the kind of commitments that we'll be defining in the final hour of this conference. So I hope you will be able to come join us. I have an events page for GMIC, so I'll swap out the link for that video with this one, and it'll also be on the playlist. So GMIC 2014 is the hashtag. The short link to get to the video playlist, if you haven't already bookmarked it, is ez.com/GMIC 2014. So in a couple of hours, friends, plan well and prosper.